Hey there, welcome to Charger Games. This is Raja and this is another Unity C# tutorial. So in the last video we have learned about a very important topic called getComponent function. Now in this video we're going to learn something like that, something similar to that. We're going to learn about getComponentInChildren function. Okay, so let's get started. So let's say we have a cube here and I don't have any rigid body attached to it. And let's say inside the cube or in a children of the cube, let's right click on it and create 3D object, and let's create a quad and let's drag the quad here. So now we have a quad game object which is a children of the cube, so we can collapse it. So as you can see, the quad is a children of the cube. That means if I move the cube, it will move the quad, so it's a children. And let's say inside the quad, or to the quad, we have added a rigid body to it. So add component, physics, rigid body. Okay, and let's make the use gravity false. So now the cube doesn't have a rigid body component attached, but in the children of the cube, the quad has a rigid body 2D attached. Okay, so now what from the script which is attached to the cube, from this script we want to access a component that is attached to its children. Okay, so let's say we want to access this rigid body from a script which is attached to this cube. Then we need to use the getComponentInChildren function. Okay, so let's say I want to access that rigid body. So the same way we need to create a variable of type rigid body first. So let's write rigid body RB, and in the start function, the same way we need to get access to that. So we write RB equals getComponent, and instead of writing getComponent only, in this time we'll write getComponentInChildren. So this will give us access to any component of this type which is attached in its children, in any of its children. Let's say it has a lot of children attached to it, so it will give access to the first one. Okay, so getComponentInChildren, and what type of component we want rigid body. So write rigid body and let's end it with the parentheses. So now we have access to the rigid body component in its child. So let's say instead of giving velocity to this cube, but from using this cube or from a script which is attached to this cube, we want to give a velocity to this quad. Okay, so we don't need to get access to the quad directly, or we don't need to create another separate script for this quad, but from the cube we can access the quad or the rigid body that is attached to the quad, and then we can give it velocity. So from the cube we are giving velocity to this quad. So this is very interesting. So now we have access to the rigid body, and this rigid body is the rigid body of the quad. Now let's say now we want to give it a velocity. So rb dot velocity equals, since it's vector 3, so we need to create a new vector 3, and for the x value we're going to give 1, and for the y and z we don't want to give any values. So now this rigid body has a velocity and it will start moving in the right direction since its x value is 1. Okay, so now if I go and run this, as you will see that the quad starts moving. So this is pretty awesome. Since we don't have any script attached to this quad, we have a script attached to this cube, but using this getComponentInChildren function, we are able to give it a velocity without attaching any script to it. So this is pretty cool. So I hope you guys found it helpful. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and if you haven't liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. So see you in another video.